meeting to order May 2nd, 2016, 9 a.m. Roll call.
Crow. Present. Sure.
Here.
Half-Bargain.
Here.
Joyce.
Here.
Barron.
Here. Are there any public comments?
You know, I saw Charlie come in here. I don't know where he is, but I saw him in the building.
Okay, well, hopefully he makes it in. Any public comments? Okay. County farm management issues. You got anything to tell us?
We've mentioned to you that, turn around.
Thank you.
So we sprayed last week one day. From the previous things, had a lot of weed pressure on it, so we did get in there and sprayed some paraquat. We'll have that on the list of everything when we turn in what's done. So we got that done, we get a good kill on it, things under control. While spraying it, and we were pushing ahead of the rain, there was two pretty good tile holes behind, I'm not sure what that big building, the big house on the north side of the road. Back behind there was two large tile holes. In essence, the time we went ahead and just fixed it. We'll take care of that. I mean, we used about 100 foot of tile, 6-inch tile between the two of them. One looked like had been haphazardly fixed a little bit before, but so we got those fixed. There's a lot of ruts on there where it was sprayed last year, and it was muddy, so we'll plan on working it and getting that all smoothed out then before we plant beans. We'll plan on beans and everything, but look, it looks like they did get the tile hole fixed, things seem to be okay. They're on the highway that issue with what's AT&T, and looks like the county took care of that. So, everything else is running across looks pretty good. We got a good deal of what we sprayed, and like I say, it seemed to have the when any other tile issues that we've come across yet. So once that dries up a little bit, we put the beans on. We'll bring into you a list of what all we did.
It looked like the waterway sprouted a little bit better in the spring than it was able to in the fall, or is that a optical illusion? Yeah, it looked like it was.
Yep.
When you put on that burn down, what
A little wind. What was it, Tuesday or Wednesday last week?
was that an old 6-inch clay tile?
Yes. And still, it wasn't that full, so it's working good.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the approximate cost on that 100 foot of tile that you?
A lot of time installation is $1.40 or so, install material and paper, so it's not much. No, look forward to warming up right now a little bit, but get our plan on the way we go. Everybody's ready for it to warm up. I got warm and cold again.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. Everything's going fine.
Okay. Sounds good, thanks. Okay, garbage disposal contract. I guess we need to, we haven't advertised that yet.
No.
That's something that we need to get advertised this month, so we can decide next month, because it's over in June, is it? July 15th.
So I'll move to publish the bids for the garbage disposal. Jojo.
That's fine.
For the courthouse and the administrative center.
Yes, it's for both. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to advertise for bids for garbage pickup. Any discussion on that?
How are you gonna advertise it?
Normally we put it in the paper and put it on the website, I believe. Is that correct? Paper and website?
If it's one of them, I mean, that we usually send letters to every, sometimes we send letters to all, because not a very big group of vendors that supply in the area, but I'm not sure if this is one of them, where we do that we just send them an indication that it is.
I'll have to see what I did last year.
That's right, or 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, because sending letters would be cheaper than advertising. Or do we do both?
We usually would, I don't know if we publish in the paper, but we always put it on a website regardless of whether or not we send them the letters.
Okay. Well, I guess we will just do it in a manner appropriate to past policy. Yeah, I guess. Unless you have, you're thinking.
You said that like a real politician. Let's vote for this, but we don't know what it is we're voting for. I'm just kind of, well, I mean, for my personal pickup and delivery, we just changed companies. We had Waste Management or A&J, whatever they call it, out of Kankakee. I couldn't believe it, but my garbage pickup bill dropped like 70%. You know, and I mean, they're kind of a smaller, I don't know, you might even call them a independent or whatever out of Piper City, but I mean, I was just thinking, you know, of getting the information to people that might help drop the cost of having them.
You got Boom Garden now?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about him other than he's worked out good for us, and I mean, I'm saving a ton of money.
Well, and that's where if I remember right, they bid last time, but
Did
there
they?
was something about the wording on some of the bids last time was confusing, so maybe we need to, and that's why we went with who we went with, because their wording was the clearest, if I remember right. So maybe we need to make sure we put in it specifically what we want them to do.
Who knows what that would be?
Well, and it's pick up so many times, a week, a month, whatever. I think we had 3 bids last time, and they were one, the one that got it was one, and I don't remember who the other was. Yes, sir.
I think we should check and make sure whether we have to put an ad in the newspaper also. If we don't, we can probably say, well, if we do, we need to make sure we got that basic up there.
We will do our due diligence and make sure it gets advertised properly. Any other comments? No, we're not actually spending the money, so do we need a roll call or just a voice vote?
If we end up advertising.
I can't hear.
That's true. Sorry.
If we end up advertising, we will be spending money.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll do a roll call vote then.
Crow?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Casparger?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Barron?
Yes. All right. Head Start proposal for garden space. Does everybody, does anybody have any other questions? They're here again, so that if we have questions, we can ask them.
We still don't have Jim Devine's opinion?
Last time I talked to him, I asked him to either come or give us a written, and I hadn't heard anything, so
Well, I missed the last meeting, but if I'm correct, they're wanting to put a garden out.
Yeah.
Are these kids in attendance during the summer?
They had people that was going to take care of it during the summer.
But what advantage are we getting to the kids we're supposed to be helping if they're not here?
The kids that are here, the people that are helping with it are more sheltered, and they have it figured out with the rotation of different things they plan, so that the kids that are early here with us, would actually be able to get with that, be able to plant it, grow it, nurture it, and then be able to actually eat it. So it wouldn't be that they would get any of it, they would have been in. The kids that are here now, like for grade, would be planning for our next group, which would come in
For the fall crop.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you to consider an alternative. I was kind of thinking about this with kids coming and going. I mean, I'm all for educating young people on agriculture, but with winter time and the kids changing in the middle of these growth cycles and that, I was kind of wondering if a venture in aquaponics might not be a better alternative for you.
That we have been to, the George farmers, the farming that come and visit our classrooms every year. They have something for everyone. They have something that you could do. We thought it'd be a great idea, not all of our children understand that a watermelon has to grow into the area, or cucumbers or tomatoes. I think they could go to Walmart and get there. They don't understand where they're coming from. So it was a great opportunity to have somebody that knew how to do it, knew what they were doing, and that would help us all along your work. Everything that we'd be putting into it along your So we have it, I mean, that way with this route, not that we have
I happen to have a petroleum client down in Odessa, Florida, that owns another business that's actually engineering and commercial producers of aquaponics, farm agriculture. And I had sent him an email yesterday when I was thinking about this, and what it basically is you use fish. Fish secrete bodily fluids in the water, and what it is it's very high content ammonia. And ammonia basically is the same thing you see these big white tanks farmers putting on the fields, anhydrous ammonia. But they use a trickle effect in a filtering and little pumping system to where they use the water from the fish tank to irrigate vegetable beds, and then the plants absorb the nutrients and the ammonia, and the fresh water is pumped back into the fish tank. And they make smaller, what he's calling agriculture, educational type systems, but they can be set up inside. They don't take up a lot of room, and they can be used year round. And I just, I'm all for helping the young kids learn no matter what it is, but I kind of thought maybe it'd be worth you looking into an alternative before we make a decision. I mean, I got an email back from the guy this morning. I've got his phone number and the website to him. He'd probably try to really be helpful to you if you'd consider talking to him before we decide here.
My question is, we would donate everything.
Pardon me?
We would donate everything, like the farmers are.
I don't know. I didn't ask him. I know that, the one system on his website got a 13-gallon tank. It's got all the media for planting. The only thing it doesn't have is fish and plants, but that system is like $500 and something, I think, is advertised on the website. I didn't feel it was my business to start going as far as trying to negotiate or anything like that, you know. But I mean, I know the owner of the company. I do some petroleum-based contract work for him. I was just wondering if maybe that might not be an alternative where the kids could actually plant it, watch it grow, and see that the same bunch of kids would witness the whole cycle.
The way they got that, they have the garden, they would go by, the whole would go by.
Because your kids that are in the class now, unless they're the older group, will be back next year, correct?
Yeah, the only one, our kids that graduate go off to the kindergarten, but then we'll have, usually we have our moving back next year. So, some of those will see it from this year to next year. But then they also have it that they can plan, like the 28 days, so they have other things that they can produce quickly like that, so radishes and get them on. Yeah, they've already started planting some things in their farm. So they will be able to plant, grow, and watch it and be able to
Well, I think the Head Start's come to us with a specific proposal, and I find the whole issue of hydroponics very interesting myself, but I think we need to consider what they've proposed on its face and consider it from there. Personally, I see it, give it a go without anything written, without any extra rent, and just say, if it turns out to not be working out for the county, we reserve the right to pull the plug on the project. So. And of course, follow it in the standards of what our groundskeeper, our mowing people want. So it's not difficult for them.
I think we got to answer to a bigger standard than that. I think this should be in writing. Understood what each party's responsibilities are. A lot of things can go wrong in a garden. Doesn't sound like it, but it happens.
That's where
Liabilities are at key ones.
would have been nice if Mr. Devine could have made it, could have answered maybe some questions.
In the absence of his input, I would sit down and can't move forward. Plus the fact that the lease is up for renewal in a couple of months. We don't know where that's going to go yet. If and when it's approved, then I think that something like this could be, or should be a part of it. Without that, I can't. I think we're skating in the wrong direction.
I'm gonna make a motion to table this for tomorrow. Try to get Jim here next month. I'll give these kind ladies the information I've got. They can look at maybe a viable alternative. I kind of thought when I was thinking that over, being able to use more than one cycle per year by doing this indoors, you gain a full growing season at least per year. And it may not work out for them, but it's something they can check into in a month, and then we'll try to get Jim here next month.
First part of June, when do you guys,
There's that last day is, May 27th. June, the next meeting is June 3rd,
so at that point, this year is done for you guys?
So then the last day is May 24th.
I guess,
I second his motion.
oh, you did? Okay.
No, I didn't, but I will.
Okay. Okay, well, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion?
I don't feel like you ladies are interested in hydroponics, am I wrong? I think you'd like to go forward with what you've already proposed.
Forward with the gardens, because the farmers have already been, and then the time, they've already been donating.
Right. And there's going to be money involved with hydroponics, so everything's donated now.
Yeah. And they've already started it, like she said, they come in every month, they volunteer, they plant seeds, they nurture it, you know, they bring it back, they do activities with the children. So, if you're saying no to the garden, then I'm going to have to, go back to farmers, to go to the home weed, and I'm really about it, I don't know, but,
I think that the liability issues are already covered. I mean, I think it's a property liability issue, and I think our insurance covers that. I think it's adequate. And I had an informal discussion with Jim Fine, nothing that I think should be part of speaking for him, but he said he just, in the hallway, he didn't see a problem with it, unless he's found out something since then, but, which is possible, but I don't see it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll take a vote, and basically, if we vote to table it, that means it's pretty much done for the spring. And go from there. I guess all in favor of
So
tabling?
yes is a table it.
Yes is to table it, yes. The motion is to table it, so a yes is to table it. And it's not spending money, so a voice vote, I guess. All in favor of tabling it? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
No.
Motion carries.
Did you vote?
Doesn't matter. If I vote one way or the other, if I vote no, it's a tie. Tie goes to not doing anything. Yeah. And just for future, government takes a long time to process things.
I understand, but when it came to us, and then we processed it.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we'll try again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. AT&T contract.
I did send an email. Well, I reached out to AT&T. You know, they had told me to call them May 1st, after May 1st, within 60 days. So, I had written them an email. Our last account manager, 2 months ago when I wrote to our account manager, I received an email back that Brenda was now our account manager. And Brenda told me it was too early and she would, and I should write back in May. So 2 weeks ago, I wrote Brenda an email on a different matter, related to our Centrex phone, but Nyla and I have been talking about breaking her phone costs out separate on a separate bill. So I sent an email about that to Brenda, and I got an email back saying she's not our account manager anymore, someone named Walter is. So I waited 10 days for Walter to get in touch with me, which he never did. And so I wrote back to them and said, Walter, am I going to get a response on this request? And by the way, now it's time to, talk about Centrex. Well, Walter wrote back, he called me and said that there's been a reorganization, he's no longer our account manager.
Oh, boy.
So our new account manager is named Jack Hughes. And Jack was on the phone, and Jack actually, this is actually a step in the right direction. He's based on the south side of Chicago. They reorganized to where it's someone within your area who visits and talks to you. Human. So, face to face. So it actually is a step in the right direction. He and I and another guy, I don't remember his name, who is on the technical side, had a long conversation about all our accounts, all our lines, what our issues are. We talked about Centrex. We talked about the billing issues, breaking out some of those. They are both coming on Wednesday to visit me face to face to discuss our contract. So that's a good thing. So I don't have pricing yet, but I actually, maybe I'm foolish, but I'm actually optimistic something will happen.
They're going to strong arm you, and they're going to want to raise the rate.
Well, I told them flat out that was not an option.
Good. Negative Nelly here.
Right, I know. It is true. It's very frustrating to deal with them. But that's where we're at right now. I wish it had been before the meeting, but it just wasn't when they were available.
And this one, what's the...
This is Centrex. It's July 1st. Our contract, when we signed it, was May 31st, and I thought that's when it ended, but they said, no, in their system, I've been told this now from 2 different people. Brenda told me it was July, and these guys told me it was July. And I laid out, flat out, none of the tariff billing, no going over when they slice our rates, etc. So, and they saw where we were being charged last time this canceled at like, overages of $5,000 a month or something ridiculous, so.
And then we fight to get it.
And then we fight to get it back. And they saw all that, when I was on the phone with these guys, they saw all that on our account, so. I'm optimistic Wednesday will go well. We'll see. There is some detail on the back. You did get a sheet on the, cost of this building, but if you put that over, the detail on the Centrex line is on the back side, just for your own curiosity. Whose lines they are, what they're costing us, etc. We get charged the back side of that one, Larry, on the back side, that's all the phone lines. And then kind of a trend, how much they're being used. What's at the top is the long distance calls, those are charged out, going out, because we don't get charged on voice over internet for any long distance that's included. So this would be the only long distance, we have long distance charges on top of the plain Centrex charges. So reducing these lines helps us on 2 accounts, both on this one and then the voice or the long distance bill.
Questions? So hopefully for next month we'll have it, and if we don't, since it's good till actually July, we're on schedule.
Right.
And we are looking at some of the fax machines. I know the health department was checking, they didn't get word back for sure, but they said, initially, the person they talked to did not think they were set up for voice over internet. So,
They have 3 cell phones.
yes. Because that's what they've had. Now, they have said that they might be able to reduce that down to 2 or 1, but that would be something they'd have to do over time, because they will have to notify people that the fax numbers change.
Sure.
So,
Would seem as though they could get on with one fax.
and they might be able to. They're looking into how to do that. When I pointed out to them how much it costs per month, they said, oh. So,
Good.
all right. Anything else on the phone right now? Then we will move on to office rentals.
And that's the front page of that paper. And you had asked me to do an analysis of the cost for repairs and maintenance in this building. And you can see that there. We went from $395 a square foot to $582 a square foot. I showed you all the increases in cost over 40 years. And we last analyzed this in 2013. The big thing is, as you can see, I put in the capital expense. 3 years ago, 2013, we really had put nothing into this building at that time that I had been here, that I was aware of. So I put in the cost of like 1 heat pump here. The roof, I took the cost of the roof and amortized that over 15 years. And then the $24,000 in general fund cost that we used for the installation of the new boiler, I amortized that over, what did I say there, 5 years? 10 years. 10 years. And then on repairs and maintenance, last year we spent about $15,000 on that glycol replacement. And I, instead of just putting the full cost of that in repairs and maintenance from last year, I did like an amortization of 5 years. Otherwise, it really keeps it high.
And on the bottom, we have what the square footage is for each renter. And how much they're paying per square foot. So what are we looking at a 9% increase? Is that what that one's saying in cost?
I'm not, yeah. Oh, I see, a 9% increase in cost, yeah, I think that's what it was. Year over year. No, 9, it's a whole lot more than 9.
I'm just looking at it.
Increase year over year.
Okay. And that's because of all the capital improvements, basically.
A lot of it is capital improvements, right.
But if we look at the rent per square foot they're currently paying, volunteer services is at $575.
Right.
Champaign Regional Planning's at $599. The Head Start's at $558. And some of them, they're, of course, 911 is the deadbeat. Where was there discussion that they weren't going to pay rent?
It's
several years.
Technically, it's not rent.
It's reimbursement for, is it a reimbursement situation?
Because they're a part of the county, it's not
Because we can't. say
technically
that.
called rent, is that?
I think what ended up, I don't remember how it ended up, Mike and I have talked about this. I think because 911 isn't us, it's a separate entity,
Okay.
different than, I don't know, I don't remember. I don't remember how it ended up, but they do have a lease, a signed lease, for rent.
Okay.
But if we're saying, and that's a legal question, and I don't want to answer that, but if we're saying that they're part of the county and we can't have a contract with them, what we can do is recover our costs. And I mean, honestly, and that's part of what Ben and I had talked about was, I mean, if you look on the back page, they've got 5 contracts online. That would go a long way at about $60 a month. That she's, at this point, willing to move over to her budget. That would be a big help for us.
When were the leases up? Not on here that I see. Was it August?
A lot of them are August. I don't think I have that. Hard to go over. Hang on just a second. Champaign Consortium, or WIA, that's August 31st. Head Start, August 31st. Volunteer Services, August 31st. Champaign Consortium, the KCC, the old KCC room, that was the regional planning group down the hall. That's June 30th. And 911 is 7/31. Yeah.
What'd you say volunteer services was?
August 31st.
So basically, all of them are except for the two, and FSA is a 9-year yet on their lease or something.
Yep.
Champaign Consortium.
Well, what are your thoughts on, because these are multi-year leases, so we, some of them are right at where they would be, not much of a increase if we went to our cost, but we have to look at what it's going to cost for the full term of their lease, so how much of an increase do we think we need to cover?
What costs are going to go up?
Utilities could go up. If we would happen to replace more than one pump per year, it's figured as one per year.
Personnel costs are gonna go up.
Yeah, but that does not affect us. Their cost of their personnel does not affect us.
This would be issues concerning the maintenance of the building.
Supplies, Janet, our maintenance
I guess,
staff.
yeah, the maintenance staff costs as they go up. But we can,
Which you're going to,
well,
some.
we don't have to give Clyde a raise.
He can't hear you.
Probably better that way.
Just nod your head, yeah.
We just voted on your raise, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
With the maintenance things,
roof and those things, because you amortize. What percentage of this building is county offices, and what percent is rental? Do we need to divide those down that way?
Well, we've got how many square feet each of the renters uses, and the costs are figured out per square foot. am I
They
correct?
only get charged for their portion of it.
Oh, in their portion?
That one.
Okay.
By charging them per square foot,
Yeah.
we're only charging them for their portion of those costs.
Anita, is there a formula for determining what rate we need to increase it to cover increased costs over the length of a multi-year lease? Do you understand my question?
Well, there's not a set formula, but when I did the FSA lease, I mean, literally, I was estimating like utility increases over the next 10 years. But I chose different percentages for every single cost we put in there. And then that was approved by the guy from the state. I had to give him all my assumptions, and there was a negotiation process of what he would buy into. So, like, that included, we did include liability costs on that. We didn't, I don't include them here, we didn't include them, because our liability insurance is rather difficult because it's a lump sum, and it includes everything, the building and the contents. Well, our renters carry their own liability for all their inside, so what portion of the liability relates to the building just got very complicated. That's why we didn't do it 3 years ago, and I didn't include it here. But literally, when I did FSA for 10 years, I used a different assumption for every cost, not a flat amount.
So do you recall what that was, like, would those percentages you worked out work for a 1 or 2 year lease, or 2 year lease, or 3 year lease, or whatever we decide to do? Would that work?
Sure.
Do you remember those percentages?
Not off the top of my head, but...
Why not?
Let's see if I can find it real quick. Maybe it was 3% a year overall, or I don't remember. Let me look.
Well, that gives me the general.
Yeah.
And I've heard some that use 3 to 5% increase per year as an average. So,
That's been my experience with the apartments, too. 4% most of the time.
now, are all these leases the same length, or are they different lengths? Do we-
All of these are 3-year leases.
Okay.
It averaged out to be about 5%.
Okay, thank you.
You use 4% a year to bring it up to $6.50.
Do we do that as we raise it to that now, or do we raise it, have it in the contract that every year it raises that percent?
We have to decide.
That's why I'm asking.
The FSA contract doesn't increase every year, that's a set amount. So forward, is it not?
I believe you are correct.
If we use that as a policy setter or whatever, then that should do the same thing here. That indicates in the first year you make a little, in the middle year you break even, and the last year you lose. But you should come out even over 3 years. You're going for 3 years.
So, I guess we have two questions. What do we actually want to raise it to, and do we want to raise it all at once? Thanks for coming.
Well, you also got a question here, you got 3 people that are going to get raised, and 1 person, are you going to reduce their rate?
No.
Well, I think some of those services provided in some of those offices would be very conducive to our county government. Not exactly an extension of our government, but have a more of a family relationship to it.
Yes. There are some that are.
More some than others, I know.
And then, what are we going to do with 911?
Sounds like that needs to be handled separately.
Yeah, and we've got till the end of July to figure out what to do with 911. You know, I mean, for the rest, we need to, you know, because June 30th is going to come pretty quick for the Champaign Consortium.
The leases that they have right now are 3 years, are they not?
That is what Anita said, yes.
You mentioned earlier, do you still have concerns since you've had your question answered about Head Start?
My question hasn't been answered. Hasn't even been addressed. Yes, it has.
Yes, it has. What do you mean it hasn't been answered? We had a discussion with Jim Devine. Do you have another
I
question?
wasn't prepared for that discussion. I had another meeting with him after that. He's reviewing the matter further. If you'd like to sit down with me and go over the information I have, I'd be happy to do that.
If you have a minute afterwards, I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well, as a general guideline, what are we thinking? Are we thinking 3%, 4%, 5% on the increase?
Anita, your 5% number is based on an annual increase?
Right.
Any contracts that I've looked at or approved or signed, and it's slightly different than what we're looking at here, but generally if I go in to bid any kind of a long-term contract, the increases are calculated to be an annual increase. So if we're averaging across the board 5%, I would say that, would be a 5% annual increase.
So you're saying have it change every year on the anniversary date?
Whatever date that contract signed, the increase will go into effect.
No.
What do you want to do?
In the past, I believe
As I said, we have a contract with FSA where it's a set amount for the duration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same procedure or policy that we've had with these others. We haven't gone to an incremental increase. I'm not saying we couldn't do that, but you're really changing the policy that we've had with these others here before. I think that there's, from their standpoint, one thing that may be a benefit is if they know ahead of time what the rent is going to be so they can budget for it. If you know that you're going to get a 5% every year, you still can do that. That's true, but I think your budgeting, to me, if you have know ahead of time what the exact amount is going to be, and it's written in the contract, to me, I'd rather have that. Either way, I think it works. Nobody's ever objected to doing it the way we've done it either, as far as I know.
I think the goal is to cover our costs and keep our renters that we have, because I think we are in a good position right now. That's my opinion.
Can you identify your costs? Are you talking the cost of what would be square foot of every minute in normal building, or are you just talking maintenance?
I'm talking the figures that are before us, right here in our situation.
What are they?
They're right here before us.
I know, what are they? Maintenance figures only, or costing figures?
They're all of the figures that Anita has presented.
I know.
Well, I don't understand your question.
I know you don't.
Okay. Just something else to throw out there. We currently have 2 renters, excluding 911, that are below what our cost is. So if we do raises on them, starting from their current, then that potentially keeps them below our cost. Or do we start with a base of our cost is 582 and do increases from that? Because if you do a 6% increase on 558 over the next few years, that won't necessarily even get them up to what our cost is.
I think you start out with the 582, that's what they need to set that cost is right now. If you go 4%, $6.50. If you go 5%, $6.70. That's round numbers.
And, you know, I want to be ever mindful of the fact that we are government. A lot of these are correctly government entities, so we're not in the business to make money. We are in the business to cover our costs and be accountable to the taxpayer. So we don't want to jack these up where it pinches them to the point that it causes further tax consequences for people.
Right, but you do need to get it up to our cost.
That's right. Agreed.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm hearing is 3-year flat increase, so that we'll set it now, and that'll be for the complete 3-year term. And it will be, do we decide on a 4% or a 5% increase? Anita had used the figure of 5% on the other. So a 5% increase either at a base of 582 or going off of whatever their current is, if it is higher than 582. Did I state that correctly or confusingly, or? Or do we need to just actually figure the number and say it's this, you know, is that going to be easier?
To the question, I don't know. 5% of 582 or 5% of where they are?
Well,
Yeah.
no, the ones that are under 582 would start out at 582
Right.
and have a 5% increase in there. But like Champaign Regional, that's 599, it'd be 5% on top of that per year figured.
I got it. I understood.
So-
I just didn't say it correctly.
Okay.
I think you gotta start out with 582. Yeah. Be fair.
Okay, that's,
Either it's gonna be 4% a year or 5%. That's where I come up with 650 or 670. Anita's still here.
yeah.
Is that right, Anita?
That you wanted, I'm sorry, I was having a conversation with Jean back here. She had a question on the.
Right now, the cost, we're figuring the cost is $5.82 a square foot. If we look at a 3-year deal and we increase it 5% a year, in rough numbers, to me, comes out to $6.70.
And you're asking me to verify that? Okay, hang on just a second.
In other words, that's a 15% increase.
5% a year is not 15%. It actually figures more than that. Because you're adding on to what you're adding on.
Sitting here.
So we do,
So what do you do?
yeah.
Go ahead, have fun.
Because there's always somebody looking over our shoulder, so that's,
Tell them that's the way we figured it, period.
okay. Well, and that's, however, if we want to do,
I mean, you're gonna look on your shoulder either way, so.
yeah. Because if you figure 15% or 4% compounded every year, it's just a matter of what we want to do and how we want to do it.
673 would be 5% a year over $5.82.
673,
That's why I run through it all, but I said it up around the numbers.
okay.
Just lucky.
Now,
And they complain about what said that you're right.
John, now, that was for the two that were below the 582, correct? Or that's for, you're going to do Champaign Consortium at the same?
Well, I asked that question, are you gonna give them a reduction in their pay, in their rent?
No.
I mean, it's hard, why is there, to me, I don't know what the logic is in having all those different numbers in the first place. Everybody's
I-
different. Why is everybody different? Now we're talking about possibly making everybody the same. That's why I said, are you gonna reduce the rent?
I don't know why they were different in the past.
You're gonna leave it the same until they catch up? I mean, how do you, if I was them and I saw this, I'd start complaining. I mean, anybody would do it.
Okay, so what you're proposing is that,
I'm not proposing anything. I'm asking questions. Are you gonna reduce their rent? That's something we gotta figure out. Why is there, in other words, another way of looking at it, why is their rent higher? Is there something special about them that?
I cannot answer that. I do not know why it was
Do
higher
they
in the past.
require more?
This is to Clyde and Larry, do we provide different services to different, or do we provide the same services to all?
Hey? Services. That's what you asked.
Yeah,
What services do you get?
nothing.
Are there utility costs the same too per square foot? Somebody doesn't have more use of electricity or heat or whatever?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Did somebody use our internet or, what's it?
Well,
WIA does, IRS does, IDA does, veterans do. They all have our internet service, they have email on our server. Yeah, those are two entities that are on here, either they don't have a lease and they don't pay, veterans and IDA.
I think that was discussed with some outside of the committee, that those receive funds from the county, so basically charging them rent was going to be, we'd be paying ourselves rent since we fund them partially. Now, whether you agree with that or not, that was kind of why they hadn't gotten charged in tax.
It only makes sense to me that all of them should be charged the same per square foot,
And I think
unless they
that's-
get something special.
Well, I think we could bring 3 of them in line. That would be Volunteer Services, Champaign, and Head Start. I still say leave the Champaign Consortium alone and deal with 911 separately.
I guess FSA was a longer-term contract, and we may get up to that $14 by the end of their contract. But there are,
And the Champaign Consortium included when I got approval to put the $75,000 in renovation costs in there, basically for that, to reimburse the county for those costs.
so that's why
So
that
that's
is.
part of their.
Okay.
Plus, to have a 10-year contract was a consideration as well.
Right.
Now, you said, you meant FSA?
Yeah, you said.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, what did you ask me? Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Champaign.
You know, I'm wondering if that goes back historically to when college was in there, and weren't there a lot of computers in there or something? And was there something special about that, and we just went from there into the contract with the next renter? Maybe something got carried over. I can't remember. But I'm wondering if that was...
When was the contract for farm services made?
Last year.
Or,
I think September 1st of 2014.
so that contract's for 8 more years.
Yeah, 2024.
So really, it's a moot point, we ain't doing anything with it, because
Right.
we're already under
Right.
contract.
Yeah.
And 911, we're gonna negotiate separately, so really the only thing we're asking is, do we want to put the other 1, 2, 3, 4 on the same per square footage basis? I'll put a motion on the floor to make them the same.
So you're going to lower the conversion
The bottom one.
from 831 to, and at what percent?
Why should theirs be higher, Donna, do you think? Why should it be 831? What are they getting special that makes it higher?
In the basic theory of my life, you don't go down.
Yeah, but you also said we're not in this to make money either.
And you know what, I take that back, that's not true, that's not true. I know, but I just would like to know why,
That's why I think we're ready to vote on it.
where,
Must be a reason why it's 8:30.
that's what I'm,
I'd like to know the reason.
I would too.
Is there any way we can dig that up? I mean, there's nothing we can find.
I really wasn't involved in determining what
prices. I mean, 3 years ago, I was asked to give the cost, and I did that, but I'm not sure, how much I remember who got involved in negotiating the new
And
leases.
and I'm just wondering if it was something that was even before the consortium was in there. The college was in there. Wasn't that where the college was? And I just wonder if there was some sort of, because they had so many computers plugged in and everything in there, if there was.
Or they used that room back there, if that wasn't included in it.
Right, I'm wondering if that's carryover, and that space was set at that cost when the Champaign Consortium came in.
Maybe they have to pay for 911.
Maybe there's something in the old county board minutes that might shed some light on
That would have been from 3 years ago.
I think it'd be before then even. That's when the consortium came in. I'm not just talking about the last time we did the leases. I'm talking about a prior renter. That language would have carried over, that they would have come in and we said the lease is this much, and we continued from that point on without knowing why it was set that way. Because we really dug into this 3 years ago and did a lot of research and started considering the square footage cost. And remember that? You and I and Scott Watts.
it. Right, but we didn't have the information then. That
No, we did not.
What exactly did the Champaign Consortium do?
They can sort it.
They had it around.
JTPA, which is job training, isn't it?
I thought that was weird. Or is that JTPA?
We don't even know what they are or what they do. So It's like renting your house out to a neighborhood drug dealer. I mean, what the hell are we doing here? What are they? What do they do specifically?
Aren't they the ones who put on those seminars that Ken Doherty was involved with last year?
For economic development?
Well, it's not, yeah, they had 6 different subjects.
It's not another government entity.
It really doesn't matter what they do as far as what we're concerned.
I mean, it's,
But they're not getting any special benefits. Their square footage would cost the same as anybody else's. I believe that. Even if it involves lowering it. Because if it was probably too high to start with.
You need to put in your motion how much we're going to charge.
I'm thinking.
I guess I need to amend that motion to include the dollar amount. What was it, $673?
Yeah.
Across the board for everybody except 911, which we'll negotiate separately, and FSA that's still on an 8-year.
Two motions for everyone.
That's second. Just for the 4, and then for the 4.
Right.
Right.
Why don't you list those?
I've got them listed.
Volunteer services. Okay. I'm reading them not for my own
Right.
benefit.
Why was IRS pay no rent?
That was a huge discussion, remember? A huge deal.
But are we going to leave it that way?
Well, they don't have any heat or air conditioning anyway. All they got is lights.
What does the initial stand for? What does the initial stand for?
where are they? They're over here?
It's that little room that sticks out. They share regional office of education and IR share that space.
Iroquois something, area distribution, something. Regional delivery systems, right. Because that used to be back in the day where you ordered your film strips from. After that, I don't know what they did. Teachers, they had the film strips.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to set the rate for volunteer services, Champaign Regional Planning Commission, ECICCA, Head Start and Champaign Consortium at $673 per square foot for the next 3 years. Is there any further discussion on that? Let's take a look.
This is all we're doing is setting the rate. We're not saying we're going to go ahead and offer the leases to the people, or are we saying they're also?
No point setting that rate, we don't offer rates. We're just going to come back next month and continue with them. Right?
Okay.
So it's a lease or no lease, period.
That's what I want to answer for.
Well, what makes a rate that if we don't go ahead and we change it?
Do I need to amend the amended motion?
Would you like to withdraw your motion to start over?
Yeah, maybe I better do that. Okay.
Okay.
I will.
Before you do though, right now is the only one that's coming due soon is Champaign Consortium.
And you're going to lower it.
Do we want to vote on that one now and have further discussion on the others later, once we get the legal opinion that John is looking for?
It's not the Champaign Consortium, it's the Champaign Regional Planning Commission. It's coming to the
Or did I get it wrong?
Isn't that right, Anita?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so the planning commission is coming due. Okay.
I think we should handle that one and table the rest of it. So,
How's your motion going? How's your motion going? How's your motion going?
Which one?
You doing the belly dance now?
I guess.
So would you like to make a motion on that?
Hell no. So, the
Okay.
planning commission is the only one coming due.
That one is due the end of next month.
Then
That's
I,
one that we need to get.
then I stick with, making a motion that we take the consortium, Head Start, planning commission, and volunteer services to 6-7.
What? John, would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the rent for Champaign Regional Planning Commission, $6.73 square foot, and then we extend the lease to them for their approval
For how long?
for 3 years.
What about the other three?
We'll take them up next.
Kick the can down the road.
Then we can figure out, maybe we can come up with an answer for why Champaign Consortium, and this is the one that's due now, the others aren't due till August.
There's other questions that need to be resolved, and we don't have to do something on those today.
Okay.
Would anybody like to second John's motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Now, is there any discussion on John's motion?
I'd like to know why we have to put the other three off. They're going to be set at the same rate, 673. We just don't have to offer them content. We can approve them out and just not offer them
That gets
their lease.
messy. It just gets messy. You know, then we have to remember the details. We haven't offered them the lease. It'd be nice just to do it in one fell swoop. It's just a neater way to do it, I think.
Offer the lease at the same time and set the
I
amount.
think. And there's nothing wrong with what you suggested. We could do it that way. It's just a preference thing.
I thought we were doing it, but we'd probably find out some more information about the other ones when
Well-
before they're due date.
We will look at,
He was
Look into
talking
it.
about offering leases versus approving a square footage rate. They're two different issues.
I asked the question earlier, if we approve the square footage rate, does that mean we're offering a lease?
I heard you.
Somebody said, yes, it does need that, so that's why.
This way, we're gonna do the one that's coming due, and any other questions on the others we'll deal with in the future. This way, the one that's coming due will get taken care of before it's due, and if we gotta do them one at a time, we'll do them one at a time. But we'll start with this one and put it on the agenda next month for the rest.
And I would like to see that when we set the square footage rate for the others, that we also extend the lease at the same time.
I don't think we should, maybe we'll have some discussion about different areas. Some offices probably have more square footage than they want, others could use more.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor, seconded. Let's do a vote on that, please.
Crowe? Yes. Sure?
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Casper?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Barry?
Yes. Okay. The rest of them will be on the agenda for next month. Maintenance supervisor report. Who wants to go first?
The engineer over, courthouse jail had rained on the last week. Go through to Chicago. There's a barrel down the basement of the jail that's probably 18 inch in diameter, 10 to 12 feet long. Both ends are basically gaskets and O-rings. We found that quite a few of it leaking. Overall, the air conditioners in good shape. We just put it in the main side. We ended up fixing quite a few leaks. But we also ended up putting 160 pounds of R22 in there, which Lyle would slight double, because R22 is kind of like a white dinosaur. They suggested either late fall or early spring, when we can run it, and about the remaining R22, to put O-rings and gaskets in this barrel downstairs. Approximately $7,500 cost. There's going to be a lot of labor in it, pumping up the end, things like that. Hopefully what we did last week, we'll get through the summer. So, next budget, or if there's any money left over this year, we need to get this barrel to work. Usually on a commercial air conditioner, 20 years is max. But keep care of it, take care of it, you can prolong the life of it.
I was talking to somebody, they said there is a refrigerant out there that is a drop-in replacement for 22, and it's a new one, so I don't know. It's about a third the cost.
I asked them straight out, if drainage intimidating was brought in refrigerant, and they said no, not at this time, for a chiller. What they're going to do is they're going to have a recycle R22, where they pick up used R22, refilter it, redo it, and then, but the expense is going to be sky high. But every year it's going to double, triple R22. And quite a bit of the heat pumps remaining here and everything over there is R22. So it's going to be,
and how old did you say that one was? 95. So we're
probably looking at to replace that chiller, it's 120-cent chiller. Probably looking at about 280. Look at that. The 160, 170 pounds we put in, it's for two sides, 60 pounds on each side. Each side is about 130 pounds of freon. We put 160, 170 pounds in, so.
Are they, Are they pretty confident that reworking it's gonna take care of the leaks?
Everything else is in real good shape. Well, I mean, we replaced starters and motors and fans and so I mean, everything else is in pretty shape. And having a barrel in the basement, you know, is pretty nice. If it's not, you have to drain it every year from water and everything else. But if it's in the basement, we have that luxury. So.
Well, I guess just keep us informed, and, I mean, if it's something that we need to look at budgeting, we probably need to talk to Kyle about it, and see about getting it, you know.
I think it'd be money to have to get it fixed instead of pumping 100 pounds or $122.
Yeah, because you're talking thousands of dollars there.
Yes.
Your maintenance costs are extremely low this year, so in that whole year, you're gonna have room, you're only at 12%, right? You're only at 12% of your budget. So you're in great shape this year if that holds. There could easily be room in this year's maintenance and repair budget if the fix it comes October.
That's why I said it is all or next month.
I guess maybe we need to just tentatively schedule it for October so it gets done before the end of the fiscal year, and just tell them, you know, we're going to have the money this year unless our budget changes, so that they can, you know, because if we tell them at the last minute, then they may not have time to do it.
Well, you're right, but we already got our foot in the door now,
Okay.
so I mean, we're in pretty good shape as far as, you know, priority.
Okay, because I know there's been other things that we wanted to get done that didn't get done because it got too late in the year.
As far as the water and the water meter, I'm still working with the city, so nobody goes fast, I should say. And single east of the deal parking lot, if I asked Joe to come and look at it, and he said, when he gets time and sees a little daylight, he'll take a look at it.
Joe,
So, Joe Moore.
Okay, 5?
That's a little hour, cleaned out, maybe I'll fill that out, so we're ready for the city. We did a little bit last month, there was a couple of them that switched to AC for a few days, back. Our street sign back up there, it was pretty good. They've been bracing on it, they got to get rid of the together. I think we needed about 850 or 800 dollars, something like that, that's all we wanted to take out of them so far. So we should have a balance on that of about $600. Should be about, I think, the other thing that I had was last fall, when we were doing the budget things, we had gotten a budgetary price on catching up paying and outside of the building, not paying inside of the building, still don't think we can do necessary. The budgetary price is down around $7,000. When that was done, you know, I told the contractor that I guess it would be next year before we do that, so, you know, if you figure any kind of prices increases that we have, we want to look at that price for next year, not what the cost is doing now, so he did do that, and he came back to $7,000. The bulk of the job is the base board, trim board around the bottom of the building, around the entire building. It's like aluminum siding type things on there. And that's lighting off pretty much everywhere around the building. He thought that it was just not right everywhere. So that's the bulk of the job. There's a few places on the side of the building where
looks like prior headlights from when they painted it last time. But I guess my question is, you know, we need to go on that, we don't want to look at that, we don't want to look at that, proceed with that, you know, we should have the time to do that, and I'm not sure that everyone wants to have that, whether to start from there.
Okay. Is there anything else you got? Okay. All right. Since technically the paint wasn't on the agenda, but it is part of his report, can we vote on putting it out for bids, or do we want to wait until next month to put it out for bids? Or are we going to put it out for bids? It's approximately $7,000, which is below the threshold. Or do we want Clyde to just contact and get some pricing?
As long as you don't agree on a price, I think you can tell him to go out and get prices. If we were voting on the contract, that'd be a different matter. We have to put that in our agenda. We can discuss things without any agenda.
You've already budgeted it for 7,000, so technically you've already approved that when you approved this year's budget.
Okay. So,
It's something you want to have done when Head Start is here, right?
it'd be over the summer, I'm sure, because I mean, like you said, right now it's not the best weather for it anyway.
But I mean, also the element of them not being present.
Right.
It's in his budget, if you want to go ahead and get it, right?
If it's in the budget, yes, he could go and do it. It's just whether we think we want bids or just want him to go get prices and get the best deal.
That's all practical matter. Getting the prices is fine. If anybody will object, you'd have a chance to do it in the next meeting. We could be okay it now. It's gone.
I would say too that if it's flaking off because it was improperly applied, trying to find a contractor that's going to do the job right would be a paramount consideration.
So how do we want to instruct him?
We got it in the budget for 7,000. He's had somebody look at it already that obviously knows it needs to be prepped properly. I say let him do his job.
I agree.
I agree.
And we're going to incur further costs by putting it out for
Did you
bid.
say?
I said I agree, and we're going to incur further costs by putting it out for bid. I said I agree with what Dan
Why would
said.
that increase the cost?
It costs to publish in the paper.
A couple $100 probably.
It's mine. Cost compared to
How
the
much
idea
we try to talk to and we'll do the job right? It was another thing too that we had included in that, and that was that canopy over the elementary, stuff like that, all framework, which is all rusting and painting and all, that's also included in that.
What kind of guarantee does he have? What kind of guarantee does he have that was working?
That is insurance. And I would other than the time that they're doing you know, I don't know if they're going to get 6 months, years, I don't know.
Well, the paint on aluminum or something of that nature, stainless steel, it's hard to get things to stick to. And I'm just concerned that it's going to be done right.
Yeah, when you start to look at it, you know, told what material was needed to do, I don't remember what they said. He knew what he needed to do.
Okay.
Anything like that, I get into doing a lot of that work in gas stations. Anybody can slap a layer of paint on anything, but prep work is where the whole 9 yards is, and like Sherwin-Williams makes a DTM product. It's a direct to metal paint that's got a bonded primer in it. Anybody that's reputable would be using it. It costs, but I mean, I've got these gas stations 2 years after people been dumping gas on it. It's still holding up, you know. So I'd say let you do your job of making sure that, you know, he's prepping it right. If you don't prep it right, put good quality paint on it, you're gonna have trouble with it. It's that simple.
Okay. Well, I guess it's in your budget. Take care of it. All right. Has everybody looked at the claims?
Wait a minute, I think I have a question about, for a maintenance supervisor. I noticed the yard looks really rough, and I'm not criticizing, my yard looks horrendous, but I'm referring to the dandelions. Do we have any plan to deal with the dandelion population before it chokes out all the grass? Larry?
If you mow on a regular basis, you would see that. I mean, we're hitting it this amount alone. It goes back to, you need to be mowed if they're still there.
Yeah, and eventually we're going to have solid dandelions.
Have you,
Had branches and sticks and limbs and everything else around the courthouse. I mean,
has anybody heard from them at all?
there's nothing in their contract that
About
covers
spraying
spraying.
dandelions.
No, but mowing.
And pigments.
They're not mowed on a regular basis, what you're saying?
Well, I don't think that, you know, you got rain and everything else, but I mean, like everything else, if you put an effort into it, you can get it done. I mean, you're building dandelions, golf,
What, John?
golf, or reed, whatever, you gotta,
No, absolutely, right. And it has to be done on a weekend when people aren't present, and it has to be done by a licensed applicator, you're right. So, as a committee then, it's not in the mower's contract. Yeah, it'd be nice if he would mow, but I can't be too critical because my yard looks about like this. But, can we consider getting those dandelions mowed, sprayed?
Yeah, I can, from the rest of the city, spray around the buildings years ago.
Who was that?
I can, use rest
And let it go on there.
yes. They can spray around just the building, not the whole entire, just the
No,
building.
yeah, just the building.
Yeah, we used to have that done.
What, do you remember the cost at that time, Larry?
$700.
Him and the lawn care. His name is, I can't think of his last name.
Greg Atkins.
Greg.
Well, I'd like to ask, if it's okay, for one of them to get some choices on getting the dandelion sprayed, because then we don't have anything to do.
I'd suggest you talk to people that are doing them all. If they're already here, they're already working, they should be more reasonable than bringing someone else in.
Do
Like
they?
he's got licenses.
Yeah, Paul's
He
is just mowing,
doesn't,
isn't
yeah,
he?
he's just mowing. Well, if the committee's in agreement, I'd like for Larry or Clyde to check into some prices about getting the dandelion sprayed. It's just gonna get worse.
Too late now, they're all winter in the sea.
That's right, but it's just gonna get worse.
It's something you have to do every year, a couple times every year on a regular basis.
Right. So I'd like to look into that if you agree. Get some prices on that.
No harm in good prices.
You guys get together and figure out,
Intelligent decisions by having good information.
you two get together and figure out a plan on dealing with the weeds. 'Cause I did have some tenants commenting about it.
You did?
Drink all the coffee you want.
Everybody's yard that hasn't been sprayed looks terrible when the dandelions come up.
Mine hasn't been sprayed, no damage.
Anything else on this
I have
topic?
to keep on mine. I'm right by the
I
field.
got a little plucker now. And they don't never come back till next year.
Come pluck my dandelion.
Has everybody looked at the claims? Any questions or comments on the claims?
Motion approved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the claims. Is there any other discussion? Take the roll.
Crow?
Yes.
Sure?
Yes.
Alt?
Yes.
Hasbargen?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes. Is there any old business? Is there any new business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carried.